begun. If you've seen in the earlier video, this thing is blowing a freeze plug out, and I'm gonna have to pull the engine out, and I'm just gonna change all the freeze plugs, fix some gaskets and stuff that are leaking oil. You know, I mentioned when I was putting the transmission in this, it would have been a good idea to pull the motor. And I said I wasn't gonna do all that. Well, I'm gonna do all that now. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull this engine out, get it on the stand, change the freeze plugs, oil pan gasket. I'm gonna check the timing chain. I'm not gonna take any of the top end apart because, like, right now I can get in this thing and flip it twice and it starts up. Like, this motor really runs good. So I'm not gonna go through all that. I'm gonna do what it's gonna take to put it on the road. So yeah, let's get started. So I pulled the fan and the shroud off. Now I'm just removing some of the accessories and stuff. I'm not gonna take everything off, but the alternator is gonna go off. I'm gonna remove the HVAC compressor, move that to the side. The fuel pump will be next. But yeah, this fan has likely not been off this thing in years because that fought me. That was so tight. But yeah, we're just basically undressing the top of this thing, taking everything off, and then I'll move underneath into the exhaust and the torque converter. Unhook the starter, just, you know, first one thing and two. But yeah, undoing some of the work you've watched me do in the other videos. Like I said, I had no idea this was gonna come out, but, oh, another thing too. I'm really happy, like, probably, I don't know, when I had it before, the first time. I had the alternator quit charging and the voltage regulator, I'm guessing, went bad. I don't know. I had to move some stuff from the old house and I had to get moving. We didn't have time to play around. So I just happened to look on a forum, and it was like 17 degrees outside too. And I was looking for a one-wire alternator, trying to find one anywhere. And it was like an 82 Firebird is what I read on one of these Camaro F-body forums. And sure enough, I bought it. O'Reilly's had it, and it's been on here ever since. And it's a one-wire factory style alternator. So if you're ever in a bind and need a one-wire alternator, go look one up at O'Reilly's for like an 82 Firebird, and that'll be the one. Actually, hold on, I think I can get to the part number now. I don't know if it can focus in on there. But yeah, it should work. So let's keep tearing it down. Look at this, man. I guarantee you, this AC compressor had more bolts in it than the engine actually does attaching it to this car. Like, oh my gosh, man. At least 7 or 8 hard to reach bolts. Look at that, just look at it. It's ridiculous, man. But making headway. Now we're gonna do the fuel pump and this lower hose. And then I'm gonna pull the carburetor, the distributor cap and wires, all that stuff we just put on it. We're gonna take it right back off. And then start underneath and take stuff out of there, but it's not gonna be long, it's gonna come out. So. Okay, slowly making a little bit of progress. We have the fuel pump off. Basically all the accessories that need to be out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the carburetor and the distributor and cap next. And then basically I gotta just pull those wires off the starter and pull them around and you know, go underneath and do that stuff. This should be out here probably the next 45 minutes if I don't go in and take a break. And I might do that. I'm prone to doing that, so. But yeah, looking good. Well, I just took this off to put it back. Just put it on and take it back off. Okay. Now, I know people will disagree with this, but I'm still a big believer of these Edelbrock carburetors being the best. Now, I think a Quadrajet's the best if you know how to work on it. I don't. So, I think these Edelbrocks, the 500, 600 CFM carbs, are just great for up to 400 horsepower. I've actually had a car, a little light Camaro or whatever. Dude, I ran 12s with this. Actually, let me think. It may have been this carburetor, a 600 Edelbrock manual choke, and then I ran mid-11s on the 150 shot of nitrous. I'm pretty sure it's this carburetor. And so, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a Holley. I do think there's a lot more tuning capabilities with a Holley carburetor. You know, and I think there's a little bit more power to be had, but for something that, you know, from idle to 3,500, 4,000 RPMs, I don't think a Holley's really needed. And if you want to simplify your life just a little bit, I mean, I've only had the top off this thing maybe, if this is, I'm pretty sure this is the carburetor. I've had this thing 15 years. And I've only had the top off maybe a half dozen times just to clean it. So I haven't had very many issues with it. I don't understand what everybody's beef is with these things. I don't know. Like I said, I've had nothing but good service out of them. So, and so that's what we're going to take this one off. And pretty sure I had what I needed, but I don't remember. But yeah. I just don't see the need. It's a half. They're always usually a half. That's what I thought. I'm losing my mind. But yeah. So I'm hoping this thing doesn't have any big issues. I kind of got freaked out a little bit, thinking, oh man, because there was a couple days that I left no water in this thing. Well, it had a little bit of water in it, and we got down to a couple freezing temperatures. But really, it was only freezing for about 4 or 5 hours, and this thing was in the shop. So, like, I don't think it's a big deal. But you always got that in the back of your mind, like, what if the block's messed up or something, you know? And I do not want to go get a junkyard 454 and try to do that, because those things have, like, this motor here has more compression than any of those mid to late 70s 454s, and I don't know, I just don't really want to mess with one of those. So, but I'm pretty sure this engine's okay. I'm just finding something to worry about, you know. I tend to do that. But yeah, I think it should go back together pretty easy. Like I said, just got to fix some of these things that I probably got away with murder in the first place when I first got the truck up and going, you know. It's just that stuff that'll come back and get you. What am I looking for here? Because I don't care which one you get. If it's not on the road and you start driving and stuff, I'm pretty sure eventually you're going to have to take the engine and stuff out of it and kind of go over things, gaskets, whatever, you know. And I just think it's something you prepare for. You know, you may get away with it for a little while, but it's likely to come back and get you at some point. But this is the fun of it. I like tinkering with these things and working on them and doing all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's even more fun to try to find the tools that you need. It's like thinking and working at the same time. I'm not very good at it. But let's see if we can get this off. I just had this off. Okay, there's that. Okay, we'll put that right there. So if anybody's got any ideas of what they'd like to see me do to this truck, or what I should probably think about doing, go ahead and drop it in the comments and let me know what you think about it. Maybe there's something I need to check out or do, or maybe I'm not thinking of. But I'm always curious to know what people think, good or bad. I mean, tell me I'm an idiot for wanting to use a Edelbrock carburetor, or not completely rebuilding this thing, or whatever. I mean, it's always good to know what people think about it. I don't know everything. Always open to better ideas. Always open to better ideas. But eventually we'll get this bolt off here, get this carb off. That's the best part too on these, is you can actually get in here and work on them. Some of these cars don't do that. That's why I enjoy working on pickup trucks. I just think they're so stinking cool. Okay, there's a PVC bag now. PCB. Alright. I'm gonna try not to fall and break my neck, but yeah, this is the carburetor I've had for 15 years. I got this carb, I had that 78 Camaro, and I had a little 350 with 305 heads on it and one of those 274 H06 crane cams. And I got this carburetor brand new, and it has been on my red Ford, that Camaro, my other Camaro I've got, and now this. No, this isn't the carburetor, never mind. What did I put that on? I take that totally back. This is a brand new carburetor on this. That carburetor I'm telling you about is on the Green Blazer. So yes, it's easy to get mixed up when you have several projects and all kinds of parts and everything like that going on. So no, discard that. I bought this carburetor brand new when the Quadrajet was just all messed up on this truck. So yeah, I take that back. This is not the carburetor I was just now telling you a story about. This one's only about 7 years old, and this one's never been apart. So never had any issues with it because I bought it brand new. But the other one that's on the Green Blazer that you see me put on previous videos, that's the one I'm telling you I've had for 15 years. So I'm getting older. People, you just can't keep up with all this stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go pull the plate off that 350 over there and get it bolted on there, and then we're going to go to the bottom, try to get that stuff done, get this thing out tonight. So we're gonna rob this plate off here real quick and use it to pull that engine. This motor is getting ready to go in the gray 76K5 that we're going to be bringing over here in a few days. And I know I've been threatening to bring it over here forever now, but I've gotten kind of sidetracked on some other projects that are a little bit more important than that right now, and that's why I have not messed with it. So unfortunately, here I am about a month later. But anyways, yeah, this motor's going to go in that. This came out of that 79 Camaro that I have. And I think it'd be better suited for a truck than a car. Because can you imagine having a Camaro with only about 200 horsepower? That's words that don't go together very well. So that is why we're not using this engine in that car. I thought that's what I wanted, and it's totally not what I want. So we're going to put this on. All right, let's put this on. And a lot of people use a chain. That's the way I was always raised to do it and everything, but nah, I'm not gonna use a chain. There we go, that's on there. See a few washers. We'll put the nuts back on there. And voila. It's ready to come out. Now we gotta go underneath and do the torque converter. What did I do with the rest of those nuts? There they are. Gotta do the torque converter and the bell housing, motor mounts, pull a few wires, and this puppy's ready to come out here. Can't believe it's already that time, but it is. Oh, the exhaust too, don't ever forget about that. But yeah, that exhaust, I've had it loose already. I've literally, you've watched me put all that other stuff together. What do I do with the impact? Oh, it's still under there. Just all right. We're on there. Run these back over. It's time to get this thing jacked up and go underneath. All right, here's the moment we've been waiting for. It is time to extract the big block out of here. Could you think of any other engine that looks better than one of these? I'm not sure I can. But yeah, everything's really tight on it. I did find some house wiring on the starter, so I know this thing's been jacked with just a little bit. But yeah, I think it's just about ready to come on out. So let's see if we can get this to cruise out of there. What do you say? And I can assure you, anything that will hang up on one of these will hang up. A piece of wire or a vacuum hose can put this in a bind like you would not believe. And the exhaust was hanging up on the manifold. So it's almost out of here. So, almost. So the engine's out. we got to get this flywheel off and see where exactly is all this stuff coming from. And I already started pulling these out, and then I was like, I better video that. Come on, let it go. Okay. All right, let's get our light. Where did it go? Oh, it's charging. I forgot. Okay. Wonder where this water's coming from. That would be the one I would think it's coming out of. But again, I can't see nothing without the light. So let's angle this down. It's got to be somewhere in here. But it's blowing it out everywhere. Is there a crack? Wow, this is mysterious. Let me see if that light's charged up in there. Okay. And it sure looks like water inside that. And that's crazy. As bad as it was pouring out, you think it would be blatantly obvious where the water's coming from. And it's coming out of the bell housing. You can see it. Where the hell is it at? There's got to be a pinhole in one of those freeze-out plugs. Because when it starts building pressure in the cooling system, it would just blow it out. Very interesting. And it was just running water out as fast as we could get it going. Cracked, maybe? I don't see any cracks, but it's got to be this one right here. Is that a hole? Yep, right there, found it. It's got a hole in it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me see if I can get my light up in here. I'll fix these things real fast. Yep, it's got a hole in it. Unbelievable. I was expecting the whole plug pushed out, but no. Let's see here. Right there, a little pinhole, if you can see it in the top. Let's see if I can hold this and show it to you. Right there. See it? Right there, a pinhole. So it does have a freeze plug out of it. It's just got a pinhole in it. So that's got to be from this rust or something. I want to say a bad word. I would rather have seen it push it all the way out, but yeah. That big, unbelievable pinhole. Right there. Holy crap. Unbelievable. So here it is. So we'll be cleaning this thing up, cleaning this mess up. Definitely the pain in the butt is not taking the exhaust manifolds off before pulling it, but the thing is, I'm afraid I'd break the bolts off in it. And now when the engine's on the stand's the time to heat them up and take them out and fix it properly. That AC compressor is ridiculous how much that stuff weighs and how many bolts is on it. And then this brake booster setup, that's just sticking out like a sore thumb. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything about that, but it's ridiculous as well. It's kind of hard pulling this big engine out of this small truck body. Even though it is a 3/4 ton, the body of the truck's actually not that big. So our next video will be tearing into this and trying to fix some stuff. So I'm glad it's out. I'm glad I found out what's wrong with it. I'm glad the motor's not like cracked and busted, you know. So yeah, it's definitely fixable. Definitely get this thing back on the road. So thanks, guys.